Hi, Jim Sammons here. Today I want to talk to you just a little bit about kayak safety. Now, I consider kayak fishing to be a very safe sport, but people do run into trouble. So I'm going to give you a few tips here just that I think will keep you safe on the water. First off, I'd say probably one of the most important things that you can bring with you on the water is common sense. Know when is a good day and a bad day to go out. Know your limitations. You know, I can pretty much guarantee you I can paddle farther than most of you. But when I started, I couldn't put in those miles. And you got to know your limitations. Something to think about is always never paddle out farther than you can paddle back in bad weather. Because it can start off really nice out there. And if you have to paddle back against hard wind or ripping current, you can get yourself in trouble. So always be aware of those conditions, and just remember, there's always another day to go out. The next thing you need to think about is having the proper safety equipment with you out on the water. Things you want to have with you, communication devices, whether it's a handheld VHF radio or a cell phone that you're keeping in a dry bag. You want to be able to make sure that you can reach people out on the water. I even actually carry handheld signal flares in case we really run into trouble and we need to get a message out to a boat that's driving by. If you're in a high traffic boat area, a good item to have on your kayak is like the Yak Attack Visi Carbon Pro flag and light. So you have light on if it starts to get dark, but that flag just gets up there a little bit higher and makes you much more visible to those boats that may be going by. Another thing is you always want to make sure that people know where you're going and when to expect you home. You don't want to be out there floating around and you've lost your paddle and nobody knows you're missing. Something that I always carry in my kayak, which I always say is you'll only need it if you don't have it, and that's just a handheld bilge pump. You never know what might go wrong. Guys have had kayaks flood just from the simple reason that something was misaligned on their bait tank and water got pumped into the boat. So having a handheld bilge pump can save your life. If you have one in your boat, though, always make sure that you can reach it. Don't put it down inside the hull of your boat and let it float back to the back of your kayak when it floods with water. Secure it where you can get to it. Lastly, and probably most importantly, is always wear a PFD. You never know when something might go wrong and you may end up in the water, and these things can save your life. Generally speaking, if somebody's in the water and hasn't survived, they don't have a PFD on. So always wear a PFD. And you know what? If you get one that's designed for paddling, that you're comfortable wearing, you're more likely to wear it. So go out there, try some different ones on, see what fits you well, see what one feels right when you're sitting in a kayak. Get that PFD and wear it every time you're on the water. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Kayak Fishing Tales.